Hello, Patrick Hanley here. Talk to you today about Atmel's QTouch Product Portfolio and what it can mean to you. At the end of the day, what you're really trying to do is create a sleek, sexy user interface that differentiates your end product from your competition's. So how can we do that for you? Well, if you look at an example of two different set-top boxes, one without a capacitive sensing user interface and one with. If you look at it closely, you notice real quick that without the capacitive sensing user interface, it's really dull and boring. And with it, backlit LEDs, it really comes alive and is a much more attractive product to look at. Also, if you do the same comparison with two MP3 players without and with capacitive sensing, you want to interact with the one with capacitive sensing much more so than the one without. And you'll also feel that it's a much more intuitive interaction. So what does Atmel have to offer for you? Our portfolio consists of really two main components. We have what we call our application-specific devices. So these are our pre-programmed parts. They are the quickest to design in, as the programming is already done for you. And then they also are the most finely tuned. The QTouch Library is the second one in this realm, and QTouch Library, over 80% of our standard microcontrollers can implement that same touch IP that's available with the application-specific devices, but it provides you more flexibility. You get to do some of your own coding. We give you that base library. So from a tools perspective, we enable you to do tuning and programming done through Atmel's standard IDE, which is Atmel Studio 6. Inside of Atmel Studio 6, we have an ARM, an AVR, and also our QTouch Composer all available inside of there. It is a leading edge environment that makes your design much, much easier. As a home appliance OEM, you have to adhere to certain specifications that a lot of the world doesn't have to adhere to. And these are for safety reasons. The number one cause of fires and problems inside of a house is actually the home appliance. So for that reason, you have to have FMEA and self-test implemented in these devices. So we have products that do that. We also have products that are EN and IEC 60730 ready. Also included in this, we have the VDE certification done, and we are the first supplier, the capacitive supplier, that has UL Class B and Class C certifications. So in this product portfolio, I would like to introduce our QT 1244 and 1245, as well as our 1481 and 2640. These range from 24 channels up to 64 channels, and with the 2640 you can actually do either 8 wheels or 8 sliders as well. So that's the home appliances. Now if I go on to the haptics. Through a partnership that we have with Immersion Corporation, the leading haptic IP vendor, we've enabled this licensing all done for you, where we offer a 14 different effect haptic driver incorporated in our QT 1085. So it's an 8-button capacitive sensing device that also drives 14 different haptic effects. Through the same capacitive technology today that we have in our standard QTouch charge transfer algorithms, we are now enabling the end customer to interact with their product without physically touching it. This can be used in a variety of ways through remote wake-up, which we like to refer to as dead fronting. So if you notice in this thermostat, as your hand approaches it, the thermostat comes alive, and then you can do capacitive sensing on that. That's done through capacitive proximity detection. Even more leading edge on the same concept with proximity is 3D gesturing. So remote control would be a great example of this, whereas if I wave my hand one direction, I can change the channel or increase the volume. This can all be done through capacitive technology, saving the customer lots of money and power compared to if they were to do it with a standard camera implementation that exists today. Compared to other capacitive suppliers, Atmel is superior in many ways. If you look at it from a moisture tolerance standpoint, the ability to sense a surface that has gotten wet or even have water streaming on it, we're able to do that detection. Software tuning, so we're able to do this tuning in software instead of actually having to physically go in and change some of the passive components to do the tuning. We have great partnerships with IP leaders in the industry as well as overlay companies. So what I'd like to say, at the end of the day, the user interface can define the user's perception of a product. You want to make sure that you make the most intuitive yet attention-getting experience for your user interface. Atmel would like to help you do this. So if you'd like to learn more, please look us up at www.atmel.com. Thank you.